Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I had an abundance of quail eggs, and to the point that I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 10 dozen quail eggs, and I needed to get rid of them. Can't just eat them all. So I decided to hard boil them, and we're going to pickle them. I'm going to try a Cajun pickled quail egg. So I boiled these off. Quail eggs take about 4 minutes to boil. You're going to want to stir them continuously in the pot. That way the yolk, as you might be able to see here, sometimes if you don't get them turned just right, the yolk will stick to the side a little bit, and when you peel it, you get a little bit of the yolk showing. So I'm going to try to use just the good ones that are totally covered in white, hard white, and the egg yolk that's showing through this I'm just going to eat. But I had extra because I was going to be going up to Ohio for our family reunion, and I was going to take Mom some quail eggs. So I've been collecting them, but I was unable to go to the family reunion. As some of you know, we had that big tree, not the one that just crushed my garden, back in the winter that came down. We was pulling it or taking it apart, cleaning up the area, and I had an accident on the ATV trying to pull one of the logs. Since I was using the chainsaw, I had my gloves on, and as I was trying to pull it, my glove got caught underneath the accelerator. The accelerator's on your thumb, and it took off so fast. I mean, it flew backwards. I didn't even have time to think, and ran right into a tree, and as it started to tip, I just dove off of it. So I've been having some issues with my neck. The walk-in clinic I went to said it looks like I had whiplash. So I haven't been able to do a lot. I'm not sleeping good, and just trying to get through all that. So I hate it. I didn't get to go to my family reunion in Ohio. So I hope they're all having a great time. It's actually, they're there right now. I'm doing this while they're having the reunion. So, but I do have all the quail eggs cooked off. The brine, you have to cook for about 5 minutes, and then you gotta let it completely cool. I've already cooked it for 5 minutes, and basically what it is 1 cup of water, 1 cup of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning. So I used my homemade Cajun seasoning. White vinegar, not apple cider vinegar, and a half a teaspoon of sea salt. You can use any kind of salt, just don't use one that has iodine in it. So don't use iodinized salt. Just use the sea salt or pink Himalaya salt, something like that. So I'm going to actually set this over here, these hot pads. Actually, someone sent me these, and I love them. They took the time to actually hand make these, and they sit right here on my counter, and I use them every single day. So I'm going to let that cool down, and I'm going to pull my induction cooker out of the way so we have some room here. As you can see, I've already started doing, these are going to be pickled. Now there's a difference between pickled and fermenting. I'm fermenting some things back here. As you guys know from my last video, not Mom's but mine, 80-foot pine tree came down, took 3 or 4 other trees with it, right on top of my garden. Here's a picture of the back of the garden. It just totally destroyed it. So I gave up. I did see, I have six or 9, I think it's 9 tomato plants that, as you guys saw in previous videos, they were in grow bags. It missed those, and they're still there. So I'm praying those make it. Everything else is gone. Cabbage, the chard, the cauliflower, the peppers, it's all gone. So, but I got frustrated the other day. So I'm not going to let this take everything from me. So I crawled on my hands and knees under the brush with some trimmers and cutting my way through everything back to where I could find the cabbage. And I got 4 or 5 small cabbages, about 2 pounds worth of cabbage heads. So I've got those back here. They are fermenting. So that's why I'm telling you there's a difference between pickling and fermenting. Most of us are used to eating pickles. This is basically cabbage is fermenting. That's fresh cabbage made into sauerkraut is fermented. You can it after you ferment it, but that kills off all the natural enzymes, everything in there that's good for your gut. So what I do fresh, I like to use, I don't heat it. I like to put it on toast with some quail eggs, regular chicken eggs, possibly some avocado, just something like that, or on the side, because it is really good for your stomach. And so I got 2 quarts of that I managed to get, And my poor green beans were just starting to come on. I got enough green beans to do 1 quart of pickled, or not pickled, but fermented green beans. And I've got tomatoes in here, pickles, my oregano I got out of the garden, some tomatoes. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's starting to bubble. That's why I got the little top on here. You don't have to use this. You can just burp it every day, open the can, so let the carbon dioxide out that it's making. But I put this on here so I don't have to do that because I'm forgetful. So I got 2 quarts of cabbage and the green beans. I also had a couple green tomatoes. And I thought, I've got 4 jars here, so I'm just going to ferment some green tomatoes. We're going to see how those go. I have never fermented anything except cabbage, which I did with my dear friend Heidi and Matthias. They live over in North Carolina. Went up there around Christmas, well, before Christmas, 3-4 years ago. And her and I did a whole bunch of cabbage. She taught me how to do the sauerkraut and make it, and I got to take a quart home with me, and it was the best stuff I've ever eaten. And I never did like sauerkraut growing up. I always saw it sitting on our back porch. My mom would get a crock about that tall, that big around, and just fill it. And she'd cut out a board, put on top, and then put wax around it to seal it. And as a kid, all I thought was, that stuff's just rotting. I'm not going to eat that stuff. It's just rotting in that pot. So I never liked sauerkraut growing up. So when she made sauerkraut and sausage for her and Dad and my sister, I didn't eat it. But my taste buds have changed. Maybe they didn't change. In fact, I just tasted it and liked it. So now I do like it, and I'm making my own. So I'm going to try again this fall. I have a fall garden. I'm going to do cabbage, cauliflower. I did get some pink-eyed, purple-hulled peas. They're kind of like a black-eyed pea, and I'm going to try to get those planted hopefully by the end of this week. Over 4th of July weekend, I'll have everything cleaned out, and I'll actually be able to get in there and replant stuff, refortify the soil and get everything going again, and just pray that I get something. That's why I tell everybody and everyone else, like Patera over at Appalachia Homestead, Miss Lori, don't can and don't put up for just 1 year, because you're going to have a problem sooner or later. And I had mine sooner than I thought I was going to have. So luckily I have a lot of canned stuff that Mom did and that I did, and should be able to get us through. And nonetheless, I'll just go to a farmer's market and get stuff and do it as well. But I do want to thank everyone. I've got 2 people's already sent me. Someone sent me corn to plant. They said I could do for the fall, and someone sent me some bean seeds. So I appreciate that, and everybody that says they'd love to be able to share, like Leanne over Mennonite Farmhouse. She made the sweetest comment, said if I lived closer, she'd help share, or she'd share some of her stuff with me this fall. That means the world to me. You guys are great. So I'm going to put these together. Some other things we're going to put in here is a jalapeno, some garlic, and I do have a couple of these little onions left that I put into the green tomatoes. So we're going to put those in the jar as well. I wish I had Mom's already cleaned and done garlic. That'd save me a lot of time. But I'm just going to chop off the ends, give it a smash, peel off the skin, the paper skin on the outside, and put it in the jar. Nothing fancy. That's very easy to pickle things. It's very easy to ferment things. So I'm going to be doing a lot of fermenting and pickling this year with whatever I can get my hands on. Didn't do that very good, did I? Let's give it a bigger smash. There we go. So I do hope all of y'all's gardens are doing good. Mom's is doing really well. She's been sending me pictures, and she's already picking things, so I'm happy for her for that. And she said, of course, she's going to can extra stuff for me, which I love, but, you know, kind of want to do it myself. That's what we're doing up here. We're homesteading, trying to be self-sufficient and take care of ourselves. But sometimes you got to take care of other people too. And a lot of people volunteered to do that. Right, one more. I want 4 pieces. So I want one in the bottom of each pint jar. So I'm going to do pint jars. I want 1 garlic in the bottom and 1 somewhere in the middle. Get the flavors melted through there. Okay, there's my garlic. Just that easy. Let's get rid of all this skin. Put them in there on top of those quail egg shells. Now, for you that are thinking, I've only boiled quail eggs twice. This is my second time. I wasn't going to stand and peel all of these eggs. I did a dozen. That was, you know, kind of cumbersome trying to get them all peeled. They peel pretty easy, a little bit. I thought a little bit easier than chicken egg, but they're so little. So I did buy a quail egg. In fact, I've got it over here. Just finished using it. It's a quail egg peeler. It actually just rolls the eggs right there, catches the peel, pushes the eggshells down underneath and peels it, and you can push the eggs right out into a container. It works pretty well. I would say it probably works better, because as you can see there's some of the yellows show through. Probably works better with an older egg. Some of these were really fresh, and as you guys know, chicken eggs and quail eggs, fresher they are, the harder they are to peel. So I broke down, got that, because I knew I was going to be doing lots of quail eggs since we have so many quail, and hopefully getting more. So let me get these onions done here, and then we'll get everything jarred up. So yeah, it's been kind of crazy the last couple weeks. That's why I haven't had any videos out. I think I told you guys all in one of my last videos that our dog Brody, who's 15 years old, who's a little Sheltie, he's the king of Cumberlatcha. He was having some hip problems, and the doctor, when we took him to him, said he was kind of broken, because from the head up he thought he was 2 years old, and from the head down he was 15, which is 105 in dog years. And Brody doesn't like to walk. When he's outside, he'll walk a little bit with you, and then when it's time to come back into the cabin or go somewhere, he just takes off running, spins around. He's a crazy dog. So she put him on some medications, and one of them was gabapentin, and I was supposed to give him a half of one every morning and half of one at night. Things like that. No, it's a whole one. Whole one in the morning and a whole one at night. I believe that I accidentally, because it was 4:30 in the morning, I think I accidentally gave him 2 gabapentins instead of a gabapentin and a pain pill. Because about 2 hours later, Brody was totally unresponsive. We thought he had passed. Scared the crap out of us, which rushed him to the vet. He started coming to, and within about an hour at being at the vet, he's up walking around, wagging his tail, and just normal. So I'm afraid I overdosed him. I haven't given him gabapentin since, because I'm scared to death to do that. I don't want to take any chances. He's now acting totally normal, like he was. Does have a little hip problem still, bouncing around. But I think I'd rather see him happy, running around at 15 and in little pain, than being, I mean, he was totally comatose, I thought, the way he looked. So we don't want that. So I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm not going to give him any gabapentin. So a lot of people might say it works for their dogs, some people might not. If it works for you, works for you. I don't want to see my dog laying around all lethargic. He's 15. He's enjoying himself up here at Cumberlatcha, and I'm going to let him continue to enjoy himself up here. So I just yell at him when he runs. Time to slow down, try to keep him on a leash sometimes, because he does like to chase the squirrels. He likes to chase the birds, and he's now starting to bark and kind of nip at the cage or the run where the chickens are. Not really nip at it, but he gets between me and the chickens like he's protecting me. Last couple times he hasn't been as bad, but he does bark at them, and they kind of run them afraid of him, so he can't get to them, so they're safe. But he's the boss. Okay, so I got everything cleaned, everything ready to go. Put the knife over here out of the way. I've got 2 clean pint jars. You can do 1 quart jar. I'm going to take probably one of these to work, because one of the ladies I work with wanted me to do some spicy pickled eggs. So I'll probably take a jar with me to work for her and keep one here for us. So I've got everything ready. All you gotta do is start packing it. I'm going to put an onion and a garlic in the bottom of both of them, and 2 jalapeños. I don't know if you just watched me do that. I try to get most of the seeds out. There are a few seeds. The seed and the white membrane in the middle, that's where the heat's at. So if you take most of that out, it's not going to be as spicy. I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be spicy because it's going to be. So now let me get the eggs, and I'm going to put them up here where you can see. I'm going to try to go through and pick the ones that the yellow is not showing through. And just make a couple layers here. I've never pickled eggs before. I don't think the pickling would hurt with the yolk. But I want it pretty too, so I'm just going to do it this way. Y'all can tell me down below if you pickled eggs, regular chicken eggs or quail eggs, if you can use where the yolks are showing, because I've never done it. And I don't know that my mom's pickled, I don't know if you call it pickled, the beet juice. She likes to make those. Those are really good. I've never made them, so I'm not sure. I have to ask her. I'm getting all these in here. There's a layer. Now I'm going to put another garlic and another onion in there. This is onion or garlic. I think it's a large one. I think I'm going to cut it in two and put it in there. Unfortunately, everything's white, so it's not going to be real pretty like the spice or the green beans and the green tomatoes are. I was thinking maybe putting some little cherry tomatoes in there. I don't know what that would be like. You know what? We're going to try that because I got cherry tomatoes left over, and I'm sure if I'm not supposed to do that, some of you are yelling at me right now saying don't do that, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to cut them in half and put them in halfway up the jar so we got some color in there. I've had pickled tomatoes before, so I don't see why we couldn't. You gotta learn, and this is the only way, is experiment. Okay, now let's put the rest of the eggs in. I'm just gonna do probably about an inch head space, because then I gotta pour the brine in it. Look, there's one with the yolk. I guess what would be good is if you're making egg salad, it wouldn't matter if it peels off some of the white. Yeah, I still got some shell on that one. I'm going to put him aside because his yolk's showing. Alright. Just about there. Looks like I'm going to have just the right amount. You can fit a couple more in here. And the others I'll set aside, and they're going to be to snack on. But if you guys haven't had quail eggs and haven't seen any of my previous videos, quail eggs are a lot healthier for you. They have more health benefits than chicken eggs. So I will put a link down below, and I've got a whole list on my website. Everything that's beneficial about quail eggs over chicken eggs, and you guys can go there and check it out. I literally have not bought a chicken egg since these quail have started laying, and I think my quail are broken too, because they're supposed to lay an egg a day, and I'm getting sometimes 2-3 extra eggs in each coop, or their condos. So I'm not sure what's going on with them, because they're all laying a little bit more than I think they should. Okay, y'all did tell me, see, y'all didn't tell me they didn't put any of my jalapeños in there. We're just going to put them on top. You're supposed to be watching me because you know I'm a mess right now. But yeah, between the tree falling on the garden, it's been crazy up here. But it's no excuse. I should have got more videos out for you because you all have been so nice and wonderful to us. I shouldn't put that off. Let me find now this seems pretty much, very lukewarm. So I'm just going to ladle this over top of that. I'm going to set the jars on top of this just in case a little dribbles out on the side. Shell there. But no, I have not bought one chicken egg since these girls have started laying, and it's been wonderful. I looked at today when I went to the grocery store, pasture raised, non-GMO, all that stuff, stuff that's just natural here on us. $6.49 a dozen. How about choked? So there's no way. And I don't know if I'm gonna have enough brine. I might have to make just a little bit more. And if you don't have enough, just make a little, like a half a cup of vinegar, half a cup of water, and maybe a quarter teaspoon of salt just to make a brine, and you can put right over top of that. That's what I'm gonna do. But as you can see, it isn't a clear, it's not red like the beet, and it's not clear. This is the Cajun seasonings we have in there. So I'm just gonna make a little bit more brine, put on top of this. I'm going to seal them, put them in the refrigerator. They're usually good in about 2 days, it says. I've not made them, but from all the things I've seen on the internet and the other people's recipes, they said usually about 2 days they're ready to eat, but it's best if you let them sit for a week or so. So I'm gonna put those in. I promise I'm gonna get more videos out real soon. I'm thinking about doing a chicken recipe and some to share with you, and I wanted to do some out this weekend out by the garden. I'm hoping to by 4th of July, but I was just standing in front of that demolished garden. I just couldn't do that. So I promise I will get that cleaned up. We'll get the garden replanted, and we'll start doing more videos outside because y'all like those. But y'all take care. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. That helps me get the videos out and more with the algorithm on YouTube, so more people will see us. I will put a link down below over to Cumberlatcha Homestead, my homestead channel. I haven't put anything on there this week. I'm hoping to get something during the week and put up there. But if you jump back and forth, I'm just going to do recipes over here at Craig's Cumberlatcha Kitchen, and everything with the chickens and the birds and everything out there, quail, I'll put over on Cumberlatcha Homestead. We are working, which is something I haven't told anybody. It's a surprise. You'll see it first over on the other channel, Cumberlatcha Homestead. We are getting another animal, you could say, on our homestead. A friend of ours that we see every week. She's a waitress here in one of the little towns close to us, and her husband are gifting us some animals, and we've been working on their enclosure. It's beautiful. I can't believe how well it's turned out, and I can't wait to show it to y'all. So I appreciate y'all staying with us and joining us each week. I thank you, Mom, for all the videos you've been doing to keep filled in where I haven't been able to, but I promise we're going to get back on it and get you 2 or 3 videos a week. So until next time, y'all take care. Love you and God bless. Bye-bye.